I never thought a birthday dinner could end a marriage, but here we are. My father-in-law was turning 65, and the whole family gathered at this steakhouse downtown. Nothing fancy, just one of those places with dark wood panels and pictures of cattle on the walls. 20 people crammed around a long table, passing bread baskets and talking over each other. I was sitting there, trying to enjoy my meal, when my brother-in-law brought up his new promotion. Everyone congratulated him, asked about the salary bump, the usual stuff. Then someone turned to me. "What about you? Still at the same place?" Before I could answer, my wife jumped in. "Oh, he's perfectly content where he is. Aren't you?" There was something in her tone. Sharp, like she wanted to make a point. I kept my voice neutral. "The job's fine. Pays the bills." Her sister, Judith, wouldn't let it drop. "Didn't you have some opportunity a while back? I remember you mentioning something." My wife laughed. Actually laughed. He turned it down. Said it wasn't the right time. I felt my jaw tighten. That wasn't the full story, and she knew it. "It would have required relocating," I said quietly. "We discussed it. Together." Discussed. She set down her fork, and I knew where this was going. "You mean I told you I wasn't moving, and you agreed? Because you knew this relationship wouldn't survive long distance." The table got quiet. People were looking at their plates, suddenly very interested in their steaks. "That's not fair," I said. "I chose us. I chose this marriage. You chose the easy option." Her voice was getting louder. "You were scared. Scared of change, scared of the challenge, scared of proving yourself." My father-in-law tried to intervene. "Maybe we should talk about something else." She ignored him. "You know what your problem is? You're comfortable being mediocre. You had a chance to actually do something with your career, and you chickened out." I could feel everyone staring. My face was hot. "I made that decision for you. For us." "No." She pointed at me. "You made it because you're terrified of being alone. You knew if you left, I wouldn't wait around. And you couldn't handle that." The whole table was silent now. Even the waiter had backed away. I opened my mouth, then closed it. What was there to say? She'd just told everyone at this table that I was weak, that I was afraid, that I couldn't survive without her. She leaned back in her chair, arms crossed. "If you want to leave, go ahead. Walk out that door. You'll come crawling back within weeks. Maybe days." My mother-in-law gasped. "That's enough. I'm serious." My wife's eyes were cold. "He needs me more than I need him. We all know it. He knows it." I stood up. My chair scraped against the floor, loud in the silence. "Where are you going?" she asked, almost bored. I pulled out my wallet, threw down enough cash to cover my meal, and looked at my father-in-law. "Happy birthday." Then I walked out. I heard her voice behind me. "See? Running away. Like always." I didn't turn around, didn't respond, just kept walking through the restaurant, past the other diners who definitely heard everything, out into the parking lot. My hands were shaking when I got to my truck. Not from anger, from clarity. She thought I needed her. Thought I was too weak, too scared, too comfortable to survive on my own. I started the engine and drove home. Our home. For now. My phone started buzzing before I even got there. Text after text. I didn't look. When I walked through the door, I went straight to the bedroom and pulled out my old duffel bag from the closet. Started packing. Clothes, toiletries, important documents. I wasn't grabbing everything, just enough. The phone kept buzzing. Calls now, not just texts. I let it ring. 40 minutes later, I was checking into a motel off the highway. Nothing special, but it was clean and cheap. $70 a night. I could manage that while I figured things out. I sat on the edge of the bed and finally looked at my phone. 17 missed calls. Dozens of messages. First ones were angry. "You're being childish. Come back here right now. You're embarrassing yourself." Then confused. "Where are you? Answer your phone." People are worried. Then almost concerned. "This isn't funny anymore. We need to talk." I didn't respond to any of them. Instead, I scrolled through my emails until I found the one I was looking for. From 8 months ago. The subject line read, "Exciting opportunity, still interested?" I'd saved it. Don't know why. Maybe part of me knew this day would come. I read it again. Senior position. Different state. 40% salary increase. Better benefits. Room for advancement. I turned it down because she didn't want to move. Because she had her job, her friends, her family here. Because I thought marriage meant compromise, meant sacrifice. She just told a room full of people I was too scared to make it on my own. Time to prove her wrong. I opened the email and hit reply. I typed the email at 11 p.m., sitting on that motel bed with my laptop balanced on my knees. Mr. Baxter, I hope this message finds you well. I know it's been several months since we last spoke about the position at your company. If the opportunity is still available, I'd like to express my serious interest in moving forward. My circumstances have changed, and I'm now in a position to relocate. Please let me know if we can discuss this further. I hit send before I could second-guess myself. My phone buzzed again. Another call from her. I declined it. Then came a text. You're acting insane. Come home so we can talk like adults. I turned off the phone completely and tried to sleep. Didn't work. I spent most of the night staring at the ceiling, listening to trucks rumble past on the highway. Morning came too early. I turned my phone back on and found 23 new messages. Her family had joined in now. Her sister, what's going on? She's really upset. Her mother, you two need to work this out. Even her brother, man, just come back. You're making this worse. Nobody asked if I was okay. Nobody questioned what she'd said to me. I deleted all of them without responding. What I didn't delete was the email notification that had come in at 6 a.m. Mr. Baxter had replied, "Great to hear from you. The position was filled, but we have an even better opportunity that just opened up. Are you available for a call this morning?" I called him at 8 sharp. "I'll be honest," Baxter said after we'd talked for 20 minutes. "We were disappointed when you turned us down. You were our top choice. But this new role is actually a step up from what we originally offered. Team lead position, more responsibility, but also more money. 52% increase from your current salary." I did the math in my head. That was significant. Life-changing money. "When would you need me to start?" 2 weeks. 3 if you need it. "We understand you'll need time to relocate." 2 weeks works. "Excellent. I'll have HR send over the paperwork today. Welcome aboard." After I hung up, I sat there for a minute, letting it sink in. I'd just accepted a job in another state. Just like that. My phone rang. Her again. This time I answered. "Where are you?" She sounded annoyed, not worried. "Doesn't matter. You need to come home. We need to talk about last night." "Nothing to talk about. You made yourself clear." I was upset. "You embarrassed me by walking out like that." I almost laughed. "I embarrassed you. My whole family was there. You made a scene. You told everyone I'm weak and pathetic, that I'd come crawling back to you." Silence. Then, I didn't say pathetic. Close enough. I kept my voice steady. "I'm not coming back. Stop being dramatic. You're staying in a motel? What? To teach me a lesson." I accepted a job. "I'm moving in 2 weeks." Another silence, longer this time. "What are you talking about?" "The job I turned down. They had another opening. Better position, better pay. I start in 14 days. "You're lying. Believe what you want. You can't just leave. We have a lease, bills, commitments. I'll pay my half of this month's rent. After that, you're on your own." Her voice changed. Got harder. "You're really doing this?" "Over one argument." "It wasn't an argument. You humiliated me in front of your entire family because you wanted to prove a point. Mission accomplished. So that's it. You're just going to run away. I'm moving forward. There's a difference. You won't last 2 months out there by yourself. Guess we'll find out." I hung up before she could respond. The next 2 days were logistics. I went to our bank, withdrew half of our savings. It wasn't much, maybe $3,000, but it was mine. I transferred my direct deposit information to a new account at a different bank. I went to the house when I knew she'd be at work. Packed more clothes, my laptop, some books. Left my key on the kitchen counter. She'd texted me the address at some point. "We need to talk in person. I'm not doing this over the phone." I ignored it. On day 3, she showed up at the motel. I was coming back from getting coffee when I saw her car in the parking lot. She was waiting by my room door, arms crossed. "How did you find me?" I asked. "I checked every cheap motel within 10 miles. Wasn't that hard." I unlocked the door but didn't invite her in. "What do you want?" "To understand what's happening. You're throwing away 5 years over one bad night." "One bad night." I shook my head. "That was just when you finally said out loud what you've been thinking for months. Maybe years." "That's not true. You told me I was mediocre. That I was scared. That I needed you more than you needed me." I was angry. Angry people tell the truth. I looked at her. "You meant every word." She tried a different approach. Softer voice. "I'm sorry. I shouldn't have said those things. Come home. We can work on this." "There's nothing to work on. I'm leaving in 11 days. "You're serious about this job?" "Completely." "What about us?" "There is no us. Not anymore." Her eyes hardened again. You're making a huge mistake. That job won't work out. You'll be miserable and alone, and I won't be here when you realize you need me. I'm counting on that. I went into the room and closed the door. She stood there for a minute. Then I heard her footsteps walking away. Her car started. Left. That night, I got an email from the company's HR department. Contract, benefits information, relocation assistance. It was genuine. This was happening. I signed everything and sent it back. 10 days to go. My phone kept buzzing with messages from her family. I answered none of them. Changed my number on day 7. Gave the new one only to my boss at my current job and the HR person at the new company. Complete silence after that. It felt good. On my last day at my old job, my supervisor seemed confused. You gave notice pretty suddenly. Everything okay? Better than okay. New opportunity came up. Good for you. You've always been solid here. They're lucky to have you. That simple sentence meant more than she knew. I loaded my truck on a Saturday morning. Everything I owned fit in the bed and the back seat. I didn't have much. I drove past our house one last time. Her car was in the driveway. I didn't stop. 300 miles to my new life. I made it in 5 hours. The new city was smaller than I expected. Not tiny, but manageable. The kind of place where traffic actually moved and parking wasn't a nightmare. I found the company building on Sunday just to make sure I knew where I was going. Modern glass and steel, 5 stories, with the company logo on the front. Parks Industries. They manufactured industrial equipment, something I actually knew about from my previous job. My first day started at 8 a.m. Monday. Baxter met me in the lobby himself. Good to finally have you here, he said, shaking my hand. Let me show you around. The office was clean, organized, and busy. People actually seemed to enjoy being there. Baxter introduced me to my team. 6 people, all friendly enough. One guy, Lucas, offered to help me get settled. You find a place to live yet? He asked during lunch. Still in a hotel. Looking at apartments this week. Apartments here are expensive. I've got a spare room if you're interested. $300 a month plus split utilities. It's not fancy, but it's cheap. I thought about it. Sharing a place wasn't ideal, but it made financial sense while I got established. That could work. Come by after work, check it out. Lucas's place was a small house in an older neighborhood. 2 bedrooms, 1 bathroom, kitchen that had seen better days. But it was clean, quiet, and the room he was offering had space for a bed and a desk. I work swing shifts sometimes, he said, so I'm not always around. Long as you're not throwing parties or leaving messes, we're good. Deal. I moved in that weekend. Bought a used bed frame and mattress from a thrift store, set up my laptop on an old desk Lucas had in the garage. It wasn't much, but it was mine. No one telling me I was mediocre. No one keeping score of my failures. Work was good. Better than good. The job was challenging, but not overwhelming. My supervisor, a woman named Kelly, was direct and fair. When I did something well, she said so. When I made a mistake, she explained how to fix it without making me feel stupid. You're picking this up faster than most people, she told me after my second week. Baxter was right about you. 3 weeks in, I got my first paycheck. Saw that number and had to double check it. After taxes and insurance, I was still taking home more than I'd made in a month at my old job. I paid Lucas rent, bought groceries, and still had money left over. Actual savings. It felt strange. My old phone was in a drawer somewhere. I'd left it off since getting the new number. Didn't need it, didn't want the temptation to check it. But curiosity got the better of me one night. I turned it on. 87 missed calls. Over 200 text messages. The first batch were from her. Angry, then confused, then almost desperate. You can't just disappear. We need to talk. This is childish. I'm worried about you. Your family is asking about you. Then her family joined in. Her mother. Whatever happened, you can work it out. Her father. Be a man and face this. Her sister Judith. She's a mess. You need to come back. I scrolled through them all. Not one person asked what she'd said to me. Not one person acknowledged that maybe, just maybe, I had a reason for leaving. The most recent message was from 5 days ago. From her. I talked to a lawyer. If you want a divorce, fine. But we need to handle this properly. I turned the phone back off and put it away. At work, things kept improving. Kelly assigned me to lead a small project. Nothing major, but it was mine to manage. The team respected my decisions, asked good questions, delivered quality work. You've got a good handle on people, Kelly said after we finished ahead of schedule. That's rare. A month and a half in, I met some people outside of work. Lucas invited me to a bar where he played pool with friends. Nothing fancy, just a local place with cheap beer and worn felt tables. One of Lucas's friends, a woman named Alexa, worked in accounting at a different company. She was funny, sarcastic, and didn't take anyone's nonsense. "So you're the mysterious roommate," she said. "Lucas said you just moved here out of nowhere. Needed a change. Leaving something behind or running towards something?" "Both, I guess." She smiled. "Fair enough." We talked for a while. Nothing serious, just conversation. It felt normal, natural. Nobody was keeping score or waiting for me to mess up. When I got home that night, Lucas was watching TV. "Alexa likes you. We just met. Trust me, I've known her for years. She doesn't talk to people that long unless she's interested." I didn't know what to do with that information, so I filed it away and went to bed. Work kept getting better. I was handling bigger projects, making decisions that mattered. Baxter called me into his office after 3 months. "I wanted to check in," he said. "See how you're adjusting." "It's been great. Honestly, better than I expected." "Good. Because we're expanding the team, and I want you to interview candidates with me. Kelly recommended you specifically." That meant something. Being trusted to help build the team. I'd be happy to. My phone buzzed in my pocket. The new one. A text from an unknown number. "I got your new number from your old boss. We need to talk about the house and splitting assets. Call me." I knew who it was. I deleted the message. "Everything okay?" Baxter asked. "Yeah, just some old business I need to handle. Take whatever time you need." I didn't need time. I needed a lawyer. I found one through a co-worker's recommendation. Small practice, straightforward guy named Mr. Evans. I explained the situation in his office the next day. "Pretty simple case," he said. "No kids, no major assets. You were renting, not buying. Vehicles in separate names." "Yes." "Then it's just splitting whatever savings you had and making sure debts are handled fairly. I can file paperwork this week if you want to move forward." "Do it." He nodded. "I'll need her contact information." I gave him the old number. Let him deal with her. That night, Lucas asked if I wanted to grab dinner with him and some friends. Alexa was going to be there. "Sure," I said. We went to a diner. Nothing fancy, just burgers and fries. Alexa sat across from me, and we ended up talking most of the night while Lucas and the others argued about sports. "You seem different from when we first met," she said. "Different how?" "More relaxed. Less like you're waiting for something bad to happen." Maybe she was right. I hadn't realized it, but I'd stopped looking over my shoulder. Stopped waiting for the other shoe to drop. "This place has been good for me." "Good," she said. "You should stick around." When I got home, I checked my email. One from Evans. Divorce petition filed. She's been served. Expect a response within 30 days. I closed the laptop and went to bed. For the first time in years, I slept through the entire night without waking up once. Evans called me 2 weeks after filing the paperwork. "She's contesting," he said. "Claims you abandoned the marriage and wants compensation for emotional distress." I laughed. Couldn't help it. Emotional distress? It's a standard tactic. She'll drop it once she realizes it won't work. Her lawyer's probably just trying to scare you into offering more. What do I actually owe her? Half of whatever you had in savings when you left. You already withdrew your half, so technically nothing. She might try to claim part of your new income, but that's a stretch since you earned it after separation. So this is just noise. Pretty much. I'll respond appropriately. Don't worry about it. But she wasn't done. 3 days later, my old number started getting messages again. I'd left the phone on this time, curious what would happen. Her father, "You need to handle this like a man. She's struggling financially because you left without warning." Her sister, "She had to get a roommate to afford rent. You're really going to leave her with all the bills." Her brother, "Dude, whatever happened, you're better than this. Help her out." Not one of them mentioned what she'd said at that dinner. Not one acknowledged that maybe she'd pushed me to this point. I didn't respond to any of them. Then she started texting the new number somehow. Must have gotten it from someone at my old job. "You can't just erase 5 years. We built a life together. I'm not asking you to come back. Just help me with the transition. It's the decent thing to do. You're being cruel. This isn't who you are." I showed the messages to Lucas one night. He read through them and shook his head. Classic guilt trip. She's panicking because her plan didn't work. What plan? She thought you'd fall apart without her. Come crawling back. Now she's realizing she needs you more than you need her, and she's scrambling. That made sense. The timeline fit. Evans called again. "She's willing to settle?" Wants you to pay 3 months of her rent to help her adjust. No. Figured you'd say that. I'll counter with a clean split. No money changes hands. Everyone walks away. She won't like it, but she'll take it eventually. Work was picking up. We landed a major contract, and my team was assigned to handle part of the implementation. Long hours, but satisfying work. Kelly was pleased with my performance. You're doing well, she said during a review. Keep this up and there might be a promotion discussion in 6 months. I wasn't counting on it, but it felt good to hear. Alexa and I had been spending more time together. Nothing official, just grabbing coffee or lunch when our schedules lined up. She knew I was going through a divorce, but didn't push for details. You'll talk about it when you're ready, she said. Or you won't. Either way is fine. One Saturday, she invited me to a local festival. Food trucks, live music, craft vendors. The kind of thing I would have avoided before because it wasn't our scene. I went, had a good time, bought some ridiculous hat from a vendor because Alexa dared me to wear it, ate too much fried food and didn't feel guilty about it. On the way back, she asked, "So what's your ex like?" "Why do you want to know?" "Curious what kind of person you're running from." "I'm not running from her. I'm running towards something better." Smooth answer. She smiled. "But seriously, I thought about it. She needed me to be less than I am. Smaller. She wanted someone she could control, and I spent 5 years letting her do it. And now I'm done being small." She nodded. "Good." That night, I got a message from an unknown number on my work phone. Someone had gotten that one too. "This is Judith. I know you probably won't respond, but I need to tell you something. She's not doing well. Lost her job last week. Her boss said she's been distracted and making mistakes. She's barely eating. I'm worried about her." I stared at the message for a long time. Part of me felt bad. 5 years together. You don't just stop caring overnight. But another part, the part that remembered sitting at that dinner table while she told everyone I was weak and pathetic, felt nothing. I deleted the message. Evans called the next morning. Good news. She accepted the terms. Clean split, no money exchanged. Just need your signature on the final documents. That was fast. Her lawyer probably told her she had no case. Smart move on her part to settle now. I met him at his office that afternoon, signed where he indicated. 7 pages of legal language that boiled down to, "We're done. We owe each other nothing. Goodbye." "That's it?" I asked. "That's it. Judge will finalize it in about 30 days, but you're essentially divorced. Congratulations." Weird thing to congratulate someone on, but I understood what he meant. I drove back to the house I shared with Lucas. He was in the living room with Alexa and a few other friends, watching a game. "How'd it go?" Lucas asked. "Sign the papers." "It's done." "That calls for celebration," Alexa said. "We're ordering pizza. You're buying since you're newly single." I laughed. Deal. That night felt normal. Easy. Just people enjoying each other's company without drama or scorekeeping or someone waiting for me to mess up. My phone buzzed. The old one, still sitting on my dresser. I ignored it. Whatever she had to say now didn't matter anymore. That chapter was closed. I had a new job, new friends, and a new life that didn't require me to shrink myself to fit someone else's idea of who I should be. 3 months ago, she'd told me I'd come crawling back within weeks. She'd been wrong about everything. I was in a meeting when reception called my extension. "There's someone here to see you," the receptionist said. "Says she's your wife." My stomach dropped. "Ex-wife. Tell her I'm unavailable. She's pretty insistent. Says it's important." I closed my eyes. "I'll be right there." Kelly looked at me. "Everything all right?" "Personal issue. I'll handle it quickly." I walked to the lobby. She was standing by the front desk, looking out of place in jeans and a wrinkled jacket. She'd lost weight. Dark circles under her eyes. "What are you doing here?" I kept my voice low. "You wouldn't answer my calls. I needed to see you. We have nothing to discuss. The divorce is finalized." "I know." She glanced around, noticed people watching. "Can we talk somewhere private?" "No. Whatever you need to say it here or leave." Her jaw tightened. "I drove 6 hours to see you. The least you can do is give me 10 minutes. I didn't ask you to come here. I didn't ask you to do anything. You need to leave. Please." Her voice cracked. "I made a mistake. I know that now. I was wrong about everything I said at that dinner. I was angry and stupid and I hurt you. I'm sorry." A few coworkers had stopped what they were doing, pretending not to listen but clearly interested. Apology noted. "Now leave. Don't do this. Don't throw away everything we had because of one bad night." One bad night. I shook my head. That night was just you finally saying what you'd been thinking all along. You meant every word. I didn't. I was trying to hurt you because I was frustrated. With myself, with us, with everything. But I didn't mean it. Yes, you did. And you know what? You were right. I was comfortable. I was scared. But not anymore. She reached for my arm. I stepped back. I see what you're doing here, she said louder now. New job, new life, pretending you're better off. But you're not. You're running away from problems instead of fixing them. I fixed the problem. I left you. Her face flushed. A few people weren't even pretending not to watch anymore. You're really going to humiliate me like this? In front of all these people? I'm not doing anything. You came to my workplace uninvited. You're making a scene. I'm asking you to leave. I'm not leaving until we talk. I walked back to the reception desk. Can you call security, please? The receptionist picked up the phone. My ex's eyes went wide. You're calling security on me? You were asked to leave. You refused. That's trespassing. This is insane. I'm your wife, ex-wife, and you need to go. Two security guards appeared from a side hallway. One of them, an older guy named Jeremy, approached carefully. Ma'am, I'm going to need you to come with me. This is ridiculous, she said, but her voice wavered. You can't do this. Yes, ma'am, I can. Please don't make this difficult. She looked at me one last time. You've changed. This isn't who you are. You're right. I'm not the person who let you walk all over him anymore. That guy's gone. Jeremy escorted her toward the exit. She didn't resist, but I heard her say something about me making a huge mistake. When they were gone, I turned around. Half the lobby was staring. Kelly was standing by the hallway. She walked over. Want to take the rest of the day? She asked quietly. No, I'm fine. Just need 5 minutes. Take 10. Conference room 2 is empty. I sat in the conference room, hands shaking slightly from adrenaline. Not from fear or anger, from the realization that I'd just done something the old me never would have. The old me would have gone outside with her, would have listened to her apologies and explanations, would have felt guilty for making her drive all this way. The new me recognized manipulation when he saw it. 10 minutes later, I went back to my desk. Lucas, who worked in a different department but had apparently heard what happened, sent me a message. You good? Yeah, all handled. Drinks after work? Definitely. The rest of the day was surprisingly normal. A few people asked if everything was okay. I told them it was and moved on. That evening, Lucas and I met at the bar with a few others, including Alexa. So, Alexa said after I'd told them what happened. She drove 6 hours to beg you to come back. Pretty much. And you had security throw her out? I asked her to leave first. She refused. Alexa raised her glass. I'm buying your next round. That took guts. Didn't feel like it. Just felt necessary. Lucas leaned back in his chair. She's going to tell everyone you're the bad guy now. You know that, right? Let her. Anyone who knows the full story knows better. My phone buzzed. A text from an unknown number. That was cruel. She's devastated. I hope you're happy. Must have been her sister or mother. I showed it to the group. Block it, Alexa said. They're going to keep trying to guilt you. She was right. I blocked the number. Another text came through, different number. You embarrassed her in front of your coworkers. She's humiliated. I blocked that one too. Then my work email pinged. Message from an address I didn't recognize. The subject line, you'll regret this. I opened it. Just one sentence. When this job doesn't work out and you have nobody, don't come looking for me. I forwarded it to Evans with a note. Is this something I should be concerned about? He replied within an hour. Possibly harassment. Save all messages. If it continues, we can pursue a restraining order. I saved it and moved on. Alexa walked me to my truck after we left the bar. Serious question. Are you actually over her? Honestly, I think I've been over her for a while. Just didn't realize it until she gave me permission to leave. She didn't give you permission. She dared you. Same thing. Alexa smiled. No, it's not. Permission implies you needed her approval. A dare means she didn't think you had it in you. Big difference. Either way, I'm done. Good. Because I like this version of you a lot better than whatever you were before. That surprised me. You didn't know me before. I know enough. The guy Lucas described when you first moved here? Quiet, uncertain, always apologizing for taking up space? That's not who I see now. People change. No. People become who they were supposed to be once they stop letting others hold them back. She squeezed my arm and walked to her own car. I drove home thinking about what she'd said. Maybe she was right. Maybe I hadn't changed. Maybe I just finally stopped pretending to be someone I wasn't. When I got home, I pulled out the old phone one last time. 23 new messages from various numbers. All the same theme. I was heartless, cruel, selfish. I powered it off and threw it in a drawer. Let them think whatever they wanted. I knew the truth. 6 months after I left, Evan sent me the final divorce decree. Official stamp, judge's signature, the whole thing. We were legally done. I filed it away and went to work. Kelly called me into her office that afternoon. We need to talk about your performance. My stomach tightened. Is there a problem? The opposite. You've exceeded expectations on every project. Your team respects you. Clients specifically asked for you. Baxter and I have been discussing your future here. She slid a paper across the desk. This is a promotion offer. Senior team lead. 18% salary increase, better benefits, and you'd be managing 2 teams instead of 1. I read through it. The numbers were solid. The responsibilities made sense. When would this start? 1st of next month, if you accept. I signed it right there. Life settled into a comfortable rhythm. Work was challenging but rewarding. I moved out of Lucas's place into a small house I was renting. Nothing fancy, but it had a yard and a garage. Space to breathe. Alexa and I had been dating for 2 months. Nothing rushed, just letting it develop naturally. She met my coworkers. I met her friends. It felt easy in a way my marriage never had. One night over dinner, she asked, "Do you ever think about her?" Sometimes. Not often. What do you think about? How different my life would be if I'd stayed, and how grateful I am that I didn't. She reached across the table and took my hand. I'm glad you didn't either. My old phone was still in a drawer somewhere, untouched for months. One night, curious, I pulled it out and turned it on. 100+ messages I'd never read. I scrolled through them without opening any. Her family had stopped messaging after a while. The last few were all from her. The most recent was from 3 weeks ago. I know you've moved on. I see it on social media through mutual friends. I'm happy for you. I really am. I just wanted to say I'm sorry for how things ended. You deserved better than what I gave you. I hope you're doing well. No demand for a response. No guilt trip. Just an acknowledgement. I almost replied. Almost. But what would I say? That I forgave her? That I didn't? That it didn't matter anymore because I'd built something better without her? Instead, I turned the phone off and put it back in the drawer. Some conversations don't need to happen. A year after leaving, I was sitting on my back porch with a beer, watching the sunset. Lucas and Alexa were coming over for dinner later. I just finished a major project at work that had taken 3 months. My phone rang. The new one. Unknown number. I answered. Hello. Is this you? A man's voice. Older. Vaguely familiar. Who's asking? It's your ex-father-in-law. I got your number from your old boss. I hope you don't mind. I almost hung up. What do you want? Just to talk. 5 minutes. Go ahead. He was quiet for a moment. I owe you an apology. What she said at my birthday dinner, what we all let happen, that wasn't right. I've thought about it a lot this past year. Okay. She's doing better now. Got a new job, seems more stable. But she tells me you're doing well too. That you got promoted, moved into your own place. I am doing well. Good. That's good. He paused. I wanted you to know that what she said that night, about you coming back begging, about you needing her more than she needed you, I never believed that. And I should have said so then. Would have been nice to hear. I know. I'm sorry. Apology accepted. Is that all? That's all. Take care of yourself. He hung up. I sat there for a minute, processing. Part of me appreciated the call. Most of me didn't care. That chapter was closed. The story was over. Alexa and Lucas arrived an hour later. We grilled burgers, drank too much, and argued about which movie to watch. Normal stuff. Good stuff. Later, after they'd left, I threw away the old phone. Didn't need it anymore. Didn't need the reminders. I'd proven everything I needed to prove, and not to her. To myself. She'd said I'd come crawling back within weeks. That I couldn't make it alone. That I needed her. A year later, I was thriving in a job I loved, in a relationship that felt genuine, surrounded by people who valued me as I was. She'd been wrong about everything, and I'd never been more right.